Hey guys, welcome to Rosie's Dessert Spot. In this tutorial I'll be demonstrating how to create these royal icing flowers and decorated cookie. I already have a video where I demonstrate royal icing, so I'll link it in the description box below or in the top right hand side of your screen. This is some teal gel food colour that I've added in, and I've kept it that thick consistency. I have not watered it down in any way, with a 103 piping tip creating little blossoms. So on my flower nail is some baking paper. It's in a square form, and then I'm popping those aside. To create tighter blossoms, raise your piping tip a little more so it's kind of like a 70-degree angle with your flower nail. And to create the really tight petals, make sure it's right up top, so 90 degrees with your flower nail. And just keep those nice and tight, and don't pull your piping tip too much to the side so it's really small, each petal. Let those flowers rest completely, dry out completely. It takes about an hour or so. And in the meantime, we'll create the filling for our icing sugar cookie. So royal icing cookie. I've added in vodka to thin it out a little bit. It should look a little bit something like this. If you can't use vodka, water or egg white works as well. So it's coming off this teaspoon in lava, but it's not completely sinking back into itself. That's a kind of good consistency. In a piping bag she goes with a very small round piping tip. And I'm outlining the cookie first, so touch the piping tip to your cookie, lift it about half a centimeter or so, and then bringing it along to where I'll stop my line. So I kind of stop at each corner. If your royal icing is the right consistency, then it'll blend in perfectly with where you touched on, and you won't be able to tell where one stopped and started. I use the same consistency to fill my cookie in. So I started right in the middle. I didn't add too much because I was worried that I would overpack it and then it'll kind of seep out to the sides. So start small in the center and then grab a little pin and in circular motions kind of tease that royal icing to the very edge and connect it with the outline. I added just a little bit more up top where there wasn't quite enough royal icing in the center. And give it a good shake and a tap to settle your royal icing. Now for the last detail, I'm adding on little white dots. So royal icing again, same consistency, same piping tip. I'm literally just touching it to the cookie and lifting off. I'm not even piping much on there at all. It's just enough to leave an impression. Do that all over the cookie, and before you let it go to dry, add some edible pearls on top. I added it in a kind of like a crescent moon, almost 1/3 of the cookie worth. You could add sprinkles on here instead, but I went with the gold pearls. And then allow that to rest for at least a good couple of hours so it's nice and set. Our royal icing blossoms have set completely, and I'm sticking them on with some royal icing. Make sure that is a very thick consistency. Same thickness of consistency that we had at the start for the flowers. I'm piping on these little stars, and each time I've coloured my royal icing with gel food colour. Pop on some leaves. Again, extra thick consistency like the flowers. And just going in between. There are little leaf tips that you can buy. I've just cut a triangle into my piping bag to make a leaf tip. I'll link a video where I've done that in another tutorial as well. And that is how you create a pretty little royal icing cookie. Royal icing cookies are really fun to make, just as therapeutic as cake decorating, but they do take a while. I actually let mine rest in my oven to set completely because I'm incredibly impatient. So maybe about 15 minutes with your oven set to warm, door open, so you're not cooking it, you're literally just drying it out slowly. Otherwise you would have to let that cookie sit at room temperature for about an hour, 2 hours. Anyway, I hope you guys like this tutorial. The blossoms are really fun to make, really easy as well with royal icing. And they don't take too long to set either. So I just wanted to show it off one more time. I'm really proud of this one. Have a great day, guys, and I'll see you next week on Tuesday.